Welcome to the solutions video for the Chapter 2 review exercises. We're going to go over the first few problems in this video. So number 1 says, make your visual chart. I hope it's fabulous and you've made a great visual chart. We're going to move on now to numbers 2 through 9. Start with number 2. Give myself a little bit more room here. Okay, first few we're asked to solve. So that means we're going to get our variable alone. We're going to start with number 2. Trying to get m by itself, so I'm going to get rid of that negative 2/9 by multiplying by a negative 9/2. That reverses everything over there. We get 1m. Don't have to write that 1. What you do one side, you got to do the other. So we're going to multiply by negative 9/2 on this side. Get negative 216 divided by 2. So our final answer is negative 108. 108. Number 3 is going to be a lot of working backwards to try to get back to that x. So we're going to start by getting rid of this 5 because it's not connected to the parentheses, kind of working backwards. And it's negative 36. And we have all this right here. We're going to work backwards from this, so we're going to get rid of the 9 next. Just divide that whole thing by 9. So it cancels that out right there. And we have left on this side 8 minus 6x over 4. We don't need the parentheses anymore because the 9 is gone. Plus 6. Make sure you don't lose that. Negative 36 divided by 9 is negative 4. Let's go ahead and move that 6 over. So you get negative 10. 8 minus 6x over 4. Kind of the opposite we did with the 9. Now we're going to multiply by 4 because that will reverse that dividing by 4. So we're at negative 40. These are gone. 8 minus 6x. Well, let's see if I run out of room. Negative 8. Subtract that over. Negative 6x equals negative 48. Divide by that negative 6. Oh, almost running out of room. X equals 8. Positive 8 because it was negative divided by negative. Okay, and any of these you can always plug them back in and make sure that they work. Number 4, we're going to work backwards again. So just like we did with the 4 on number 3, we're going to multiply by 3 here. And cancels that there. Makes it 1. 8x minus 5 equals 99. And we're going to add 5. So 8x equals 104. Put that in your calculator. It tells you get 13 divided by 8. So that's our first 3 answers. Right there. Okay, let's move on to the 2.2 section. On these ones, you're still solving for a variable, but we're not going to get number answers. We're going to get new rearranged formulas. Okay, so number 5, it says to solve for t. And so that means we got to get this guy all alone. So we're going to slowly peel back the layers and get rid of everything else. So I'm going to first get rid of this PM and divide by PM just like we did with the 9 earlier on the other problem. So PM RD over PM. Okay, again, now those are both gone. We do them both at the same time. We get just F and T. So all we need to get rid of now is that lowercase f. So we're just going to subtract that over since it was positive. T equals RD over PM minus just to F by itself. Okay, and want to be careful on these problems. There are other solutions. Maybe your answer will look a little bit different. For example, if you had at the beginning distributed the PM, so here's our other solution right here. If you did that, PMF plus, if you distribute it, you have a PM on both these. So then you move over the PMF kind of like one term, since it's all being multiplied anyway. So we'll subtract PMF. So you'd have then RD minus PMF equals PMT. So then maybe you're thinking, okay, I still have to get T by itself, so you divide by PM. And you divide this whole side by PM. So if your answer looks like this, that's okay too. Maybe you have RD minus PMF all over PM. So either of these answers is correct. You can think about it either way. You can even simplify our second answer by dividing both of those terms by PM, and we get back to the other one. So either way you think about it, it still is the same new formula. Okay, number 6 is similar, but this time we're solving for R, which is oddly enough in the denominator. So we need to get it out of the denominator. I'm going to multiply both sides by R, which does get rid of it over here, but it moves it to the left side. So it's not completely gone. Phew, that was scary. RD equals PM. And again, just like on number 5, if you want to, you can distribute that PM. It doesn't really make too much of a difference on this problem because we're just dealing with R and D right now. So we're going to get now rid of the D. It's multiplying, so we're going to divide, do the opposite, the inverse. And so we have R equals PM F minus T in parentheses, or not if you distribute it, all over D. And there you go. All right, moving on to number 7. Chugging right along here. Ooh, words, so scary. All right, we're going to take it one piece at a time. 13.2. Less than, that means we're going to take away from something. So I'm going to say subtract that 13.2. 7 times a number. Oh, no, we don't know that number, so I'm going to put a variable there. Is, that tells us equal sign. So is 18.8. What is the number? So again, we're going to work backwards, solve for n. So we're going to add 13.2 to both sides. That'll be nice. So we got 7n equals, when I add those together, I get a nice 32. And divide by 7, it's not going to be a whole number again. Oh well. You can leave it as the fraction 32 over 7th, or if you love decimals, I know some people do, you can put that in the calculator, round it to 4.57. That's number 7. Number 8, two numbers add to be 336. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give those numbers names. Let's say X and Y, A and B, any of those will work. Add to 336. Okay. And the first, let's say I'm going to pick X to be my first one. So first X. Okay. It says the first X is 24 bigger than the second, which we're going to call Y. We need to find the two numbers. So we're going to have two equations. We're going to need a way to combine them. I'm going to use a little bit of substitution and say, well, X shows up in that first equation, and we know that X equals Y plus 24. So let's plug that in. Keep everything else the same, just replacing the X. And combine my terms, so that's 2y plus 24 equals 336. Now start solving for y, so I'm going to subtract 24. That gives me 312. Divide by 2, and y is 156. Awesome, but we are not done. We got to find both the numbers. It says, what are the two numbers? So we just have the second one, the y. So we need to find x, which is 24 bigger than that. So we're going to take 156 and add 24. And that gives us 180. Those two numbers add to 336. And the x is 24 bigger than the second. One more problem. We gotta scroll to the next page, so here we go. Oh, look at that weird shaped donut. Never seen a rectangular donut hole before. It's exciting. Find the area of the shaded region, which is the donut, if we're going with that analogy. So we need to take the area of the circle, subtract the area of that rectangle, and that'll give us the shaded area. So let's start with the circle, okay? I'm gonna move this up. Think about it inside here, that's what you call a diameter, right? So the diameter of the circle is 20 centimeters. Okay, let's think about the area formulas that we know. So the area for that circle is pi r squared, where r, of course, represents the radius. So our radius is going to be half of 20, right? Because that's a whole diameter, it's 2 radii. So our radius is 10 centimeters. Okay. We're also going to need, might as well write it down, we're going to need the area of a rectangle, which is length times width, or base times height. However you learned it, it's the same thing. So, come back to our simple formula over here. Pi r squared minus length times width. We're going to plug everything in that we need. So pi, we can leave it as a symbol for now, 10 squared equals length, we'll say is 8, width is 4, 8 times 4. So we got 100 pi. Now if you run that, or you put in the calculators about this, and then 8 times 4 is 32. So we are at, when we subtract those, 282.16. Okay, we were at centimeters. Whenever you measure area, you square the units. So this is centimeters squared. Okay, in the next video, we'll talk about number 10. Thanks for listening.